Hey there, my name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is the one. I have had a lot of interest and fascination, which I've spoken to, with the idea of being with the beloved, being with the one, being with the partner, the being that I will beat hearts with and next to all the way to the grave. So we turn to ash or rot off the bone, you know? And so I think about this concept of the one, the beloved, the mate, and I've always thought, you know, like I've actually asked the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are the records of everything that ever is, was, or will be. It's kind of the recording of the mind of God is another way to say that. And they've said, like, the last time I asked, I had 1,503 potential ideal mates that would be a match physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually for me. And that would serve my soul growth and evolution. And it's like, wow, that's a bunch of people. I mean, not compared to 8 billion people, but it's still a bunch of people. And there are 25 people in Albuquerque where I live now. And so I've always thought that, like, union is about finding one of those 1,503 people, or union is about finding one of the beings that you can vibe with and align with on a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level. As a person that I strongly believe, like, you should love someone as they are, foibles and all, you know, like their growth, their graces, but also their challenges. And sometimes those challenges don't really merge well. I had a relatively good day and got to spend time with my guy today, and we ended the day by breaking up. And it's frustrating because, you know, like I've said, I'm a long-termer and I want things to work out. We were almost at our 5-month anniversary. We were really enjoying one another's company. And there's a lot of love between the two of us, you know, and love is not necessarily enough. Like, sometimes you collectively are not doing the work that is necessary to evolve in the relationship for one another to be the one, you know, and I don't fault him for that. And I don't fault me for that. I think it's part of what we're learning to do as beings is how to evolve into being the greatest grace we can be in one another's lives as we connect and commune. And I just, like, have been having this dawning realization that I kind of wanted to get on and share of, like, any partner you've ever had, any partner I've ever had could have been the one if we had both done the work to come together and harmonize when our frequencies are divergent, or figure out how to meet our needs when our needs weren't being met, or to communicate our needs or express them, or to generously listen, maybe if one partner's not doing that, or whatever it is. If we could turn towards our trials, tribulations, challenges with a greater grace of evolution with one another, then there's like a higher potentiality that relationship is going to continue to thrive and evolve. Because I had a friend ages ago that said, instead of using the word relationship, because I'd be like, I really want to be in a relationship with a divine partner. I love having a mirror in my life. I love learning through another. And they would say, why don't you say lesson instead of relationship? Because I'd be like, I don't know if I want a lesson. Like, I'm learning a lot down here, you know, and it really did help me to gain proper perspective on this concept of union. And I'm aware that, like, union is going to include, if you truly are coming into a relationship without a need to control, without a need to cajole, without a need to change the person that you're with, but a willingness to truly be with a partner you're enjoying and to appreciate them, graces, gifts, foibles, challenges, and all, the thing that one would then work towards is bringing yourself, grace, gifts, foibles, challenges, and all, into the relationship, and to really take ownership and responsibility for anything you're doing in the relationship. And, you know, we had a 2-hour conversation regarding miscommunication tonight. Granted, I went 12 hours without eating a snack and can be a little grouchy. And I'm still responsible for feeding myself as a grown adult, and I'm still responsible for how I show up. And I definitely was a little grouchy today, you know, and so, like, you know, I spent a lot of time in our conversation acknowledging, like, that was, you know, on my end, I'm responsible for that. That was fussy. That was not, like, you deserved greater reverence. And I don't think I asked that question correctly. And, you know, I want to own what's mine. And I also, as somebody who's had a long history with individuals that are completely unwilling to own or look at, or have like a narcissistic tendency where they're utterly unwilling to look at any facet of their growth edge. I also am not willing to take 100% responsibility in a relationship when communication is not evolving to a place of grace. And, one thing I think we can do when we're having difficulty getting along with someone that we love and care for is create space. And what's really beautiful about the partner I've had for the past almost 5 months is that he does have a good awareness of creating space when it's like, okay, we're not getting along. And I actually do really honor that. And as someone who's had a lot of death, I don't like to part ways when there's aggressive or unpleasant energy present, because I do believe that me and my partner have enough intelligence to definitely part way. You go be at your house, I'll be at mine. You go for a walk, whatever you need. But I do believe that we should be able to get the conversation to a place of greater grace than anger and frustration before we take our distance and separation to clarify, clean the energy, consider what's occurred, consider what we want to say. Because I've had a lot of death, and at the point of death, you don't get the opportunity to say anything else. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily love, because I'm very aware that person could die on the way home, and then I would leave this in an unclean way. And so he was gracious enough when we were having disagreement after I contacted him to come back and let me, take us out and kind of have a meal and a drink together to just get some food in me. I can act right, but also to like kind of just communicate and like talk about it, not talk about it, whatever we need to do, but just kind of soften the energy around this aggressive blow that happened between us that caused a rift in the relationship and a breakup. And he was gracious enough to offer that. And I'm deeply humbled and grateful for that, because at the point at which we truly separated, he had all of his things and he went home, the energy was a lot cleaner. And as he goes home, and as I miss my partner of nearly 5 months, the closest person in my life, the person that's been spending the majority of time with me, I do feel disheartened and I do feel sad, because I do believe he could have been the one. I could have been the one. And we just didn't seem to continue to opt in a way that would create grace in our union. And I am responsible for every way in the relationship that I did not lean in to creating more grace and harmony, or understanding or patience with our misunderstandings. And there's something where it's like, he's 46, I'm 48, and there's a component of, as we age in life, I do notice, I see this in the shift in conversations that have happened around the two-leggeds around me, that there can be a component of like, I'm not, like at this point, I'm halfway through the life, I'm not really willing to tolerate any kind of tomfoolery from any old two-legged, you know what I mean? I'd rather be alone. Pardon my French, but I often say I'm great at masturbating, and I'm more than happy to meet my needs and be alone. I'd rather do that than be with somebody that, no matter how great the sex is, no matter how great the conversation is, that ultimately like the frequencies keep misaligning and it keeps being uncomfortable or hostile, or, like I'm not interested in fighting. And so if I keep fighting with someone, it's like, well, then this isn't working. Like, like if I'm not a grace in your life, by all means, lose my number, get away from me. Like I'm interested in being a grace in the lives that I connect to. And so it is sad, and I am disappointed in every choice that I made that causes me in this moment of now to not be with the one, because every time I've laid in his arms, I have such a romantic, devotional, long-termer, monogamous, my guy type of energy that I feel like I'm with the one when I'm with my person. You know what I mean? It's like, this is like amazing. And, there is a distinction between the fantasy of being with the one and the reality of being with a partner. And Heather loves fantasy. Oh my gosh. I really have to work, because I tend to look for the silver lining in people, to not put the beloved or friends or anyone in my life on a pedestal. You know, I have to be aware, because I tend to always just look for the good. And I tend to be like, well, they're growth edge. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to learn. But here's what I really love about you, you know, whether it's the dots on their face or that, like, I'll count all of it. Like, I love this and I love this and I love, and I'll tickle my own fancy with the fantasy of what is lovable about them. It's not truly fantasy, it's reality, but it's fantasy to not allow the self to be present with the shadow and what's not working. Not only the shadow in the partner and what's not working in the partner, but the shadow in the self and what's not working in the self. And that's the place where, for overall health, I truly have the influence of making a difference in that relationship to potentially be with the one. So right now I'm reflecting on the grace of everything that he's been to me, all the learning and growth and evolution he's offered me on a, you know, mental, emotional, spiritual level. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. He's given me a lot of it. Like, I've definitely experienced a lot of people in this life, but I haven't really dated a lot of people. I haven't experienced a lot of people that wanted to, like, date or do things together. And it was a humbling grace to be with somebody that really enjoyed dating me and was, like, open to exploring the things I like and, you know, willing to include me in the things that he liked. And so that was fun, you know, to, like, experience new things and to share the things I love with another. There's so many graces that came from this relationship. And even as we break up tonight and I become aware that I didn't really hit the mark or hit my aim, because my aim is to spend my life with somebody. And so, like, every time a relationship parts, it's like, well, I didn't really hit the mark with that one. You know what I mean? Like, woo, we got some way, you know, like, what is my work to do? How can I evolve before I connect to the next partner to be a better mate? What was my evolution? What wasn't working for him? How did I fail him? Or, like, how could I have been better? And so it really helped tonight to just discuss with him. And so I was able in the conversation many times to be like, I really apologize. I feel like there are better ways I could have said that. There, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you deserve better than that. And so it's not anything that I'm in resistance to. And I'm grateful that it's not anything that he's in resistance to. He and I both are on the same page that we want to be a grace in other people's lives. He wants to be a grace in my life. I want to be a grace in his life. And if we can't do that, then we both kind of feel like, well, you know, like, if we're not a grace, then we should kind of part ways. And we do have some really divergent thinking on core value stuff. And I'm not somebody that really needs my partner to agree. I don't need you to agree with me. The role's taken. I'm doing this role. Like, you do your role, you know? But I'm just recognizing that any partnership I get into moving forward, every partnership I've been in the past has been an opportunity to be with the one, to have, like, a romantic divine union with a partner. In order for that to occur, both parties have to keep stepping into that creation. Because in reality, we only have the moment of now. I don't have the future with him. I don't really have the past with him. Those things don't exist. There's only the moment of now. And the question is, right now, can I be the beloved towards you? Right now, can I recognize you as the beloved towards me? Can I be satiated in the nestness of this, even if we disagree? Can I allow that to be as well? Do I need it to be only in harmony? You know, we can, pardon my French, blow smoke up each other's butts, including our own. You know what I mean? Of, like, it's just always supposed to be a grace. No, relationships are an opportunity for evolution. It is an opportunity to look in the mirror. It is an opportunity to recognize, like, the foundations of what's going on in one's heart and mind. And so if we will really take up the mantle, if both parties will take up the mantle, we might be able to create a really symbiotic harmony and figure out through communication and through responsibility and ownership what is supportive to one another. So today, I just wanted to reflect this because I'm really stewing in this tonight. Do you feel that you have had the possibility of being with the one in every partnership? Or do you feel like the one is some distant person that I just haven't found yet? because I feel like that's its own self-fulfilling prophecy. You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube, like and comment there. If you go to rarebirdmedicine.com and click on the classes link, you can learn more about becoming magical. Blessed be.